I'm Pierre Debreu, and today I'm joined by Aneeka Gupta and Mobeen Tahir to unpack Europe's defense transformation and explore how innovation, policy, and investment discipline are shaping this multi-year trend. So, Mobeen, Aneeka, what makes European defense a transformative long-term trend, right? And not just a short-term response to headlines?
So the long-term thesis for European defense is really underpinned in geopolitical risks and budget-backed policy tailwinds. European governments have already entered a new era of security and defense planning. So the way we look at it is, from 2025 all the way up to 2030, we are likely to see a deliberate shift from short-term rearmament to a long-term structural EU readiness. And that's likely to involve strengthening the industrial capacity, investing in joint procurement, rebuilding stockpiles, and then really operationalizing the rapid response forces.
Yes, so you can't spin up serious defense capabilities in months. Take, for example, a modern fighter jet. It takes 10 to 15 years to go from design to production. A modern submarine can take 8 to 12 years. And at the same time, European governments are going to increase their defense budgets over years. And while the European defense industry is strong today, to scale up production, to innovate with modern technologies, and to meet the rising demand from governments around the world, particularly in Europe, is going to take time. So yes, it seems like a hot trending topic right now because of everything we see in the news, but the structural shifts behind the European defense theme are going to unfold over years, which is why we at WisdomTree believe this is an enduring trend.
So what types of company or technology are really driving innovation in this theme of European defense?
Well, when it comes to European defense innovation, it is about capacity and cost. And the one company at the center of both is Rheinmetall. Rheinmetall's, provides an ammunition capacity scale up, and it's also working on ground-based air defense systems. So just to give you a simple example, one of Rheinmetall's largest ammunition factory is now aiming to scale up capacity to about 350,000 155 millimeter shells annually by 2027. Rheinmetall is also guiding for 700,000 shells to be produced per year across its network. Now that is cornerstone contribution to the European Union's overall goal of 2 million shells per year. But it isn't just about the volume. It's also about the diverse range of its ammunition mix. So Rheinmetall's ammunition mix includes everything from high smoke to fire-armed resources. It also includes the NATO DM-121 and the SM-ART. So if you think about it, it's got the right round for every possible mission, and it's also backed by NATO-ready logistics. Now, when we think about ground-based air defense systems, this is where Rheinmetall is really revitalizing its ground-based air defense systems. Rheinmetall's Skynex and Skyranger 30 systems are built to defend against drones, against cruise missiles. And by doing that, they're able to protect both cities, convoys, as well as the infrastructure.
Yes, and of course, Rheinmetall is such an important player here. If we look at the broader ecosystem, an approach could be to look at it from two different dimensions. One is what the existing players, the defense giants, if you like, of the space are doing, like Rheinmetall, as Aneeka mentioned, and what the new emerging players are doing. So existing defense giants are looking to modernize and innovate with modern technologies like AI. We spoke to Rheinmetall and they talked about tanknology, which is the idea of embedding digitalization into a main battle tank. We spoke to Kongsberg, who spoke about the importance of digitalization and innovation across all their products, whether at land, sea, or air. We spoke to Renk, who spoke about how it's this constant modernization which is the reason why they are trusted by more than 70 armies across the world. Then there's the second dimension of emerging players, and they are approaching this from more of a tech angle. So take, for example, the German defense startup Helsing, that is in partnership with Saab. And Helsing's AI software has actually flown a Saab Gripen fighter jet in various trials. So defense startups are looking to approach it from a tech angle and often partnering with existing giants. So going forward, we'll see a bit of both. We'll see existing companies looking to modernize with latest technologies, and we'll see new entrants entering the space as well.
And so in that landscape, right, how does WisdomTree differentiate its exposure to the defense theme versus what's becoming a crowded space, right, of other defense strategies?
WisdomTree offers a pure, differentiated, rules-based approach for investors who want to access European-listed defense companies. But WisdomTree provides a targeted approach whereby companies that offer a higher share of their revenue from defense are enabled a higher weight in the underlying strategy. Now, in doing so, it's really interesting because companies that derive a higher revenue share are, by virtue of that strategy, obtaining a higher share in the overall allocation of the portfolio. And that just positions it as a better investment tool to access this multi-year rearmament cycle in comparison to just any other market cap-based approach.
That's interesting. So it seems like there is really some fundamental differences in how you could build those different strategies, right? And you hinted at some of them, but could you maybe give a few examples very clear where we understand exactly what difference that would be?
So if you compare two stocks, Rheinmetall with Airbus, if you were purely following a market cap weighted approach, Airbus would command a higher weight in the strategy because it's a larger company by market capitalization. But if you adopt the approach that we're taking, which is to look at alignment with the theme, and we look at how much revenue is the company actually generating from defense, Rheinmetall commands a higher weight because of its higher revenue exposure to the theme. And that really goes back to the idea of purity of exposure in a thematic strategy, which is what we are looking to give to investors here.
And that's a great point, Mobeen. When it also comes to the sector exposure, we really stand out when it comes to our sector exposure in WisdomTree strategy, where the emphasis is on aerospace and defense, very unlike our other competitors. And the reason for that is we wanted to be in alignment with the analysis that we had done with the European Defense Agency, which identified that at the initiation of this multi-year investment cycle, it would be companies in the domain of land and air that would be the biggest beneficiaries of this new investment cycle.
Thank you, Aneeka. Thank you, Mobeen.